Hey everyone, I'm super excited because I have Grace here with us today on the No Limits to Ride channel. So I'll be asking a series of questions, and if anyone who's watching live has any questions for Grace, now's the time to ask them. So first and foremost, welcome Grace.
Hey.
Glad to have you here. We're gonna just jump right in, and I wanted to ask you, obviously, what is your EUC origin story? How did you get into electric unicycles?
Oh, hi. Um, fun. So I got into electric unicycles I want to say halfway through the pandemic. It was in January of 2021. Uh, Kelly moved into my house or my apartment. I had an extra room, and Kelly had a little baby wheel at the time, and she was bopping around all the time. And one of our mutual friends told me, if Kelly's your roommate, you have to ride EUC. There's kind of no excuses. Like, Kelly's your roommate, you have to ride. And I was like, well, I don't have a wheel and I'm not getting a wheel. They're expensive. And the next thing you know, this person is lending me a V8 indefinitely to borrow. And then started going to Friday Night Ride, eventually met Douglas, and now we're here. I mean, that's like a shorter version of it, but it really all started with Kelly taking me to a park and letting me play around with the 16S, and then eventually me being gifted the V8. And then after my first Friday Night Ride, a guy named Tyler Stites found a 16S for $300 on Craigslist, and Kelly helped me go get it the next day. And boom, that's how I got my first wheel.
So it's exciting to talk to someone who kind of like joined the era of non-suspension wheels, because that's how I started. I started on a non-suspension wheel, and it's pretty crazy to see how we went from that to like what we have now, right?
Totally.
I never got to try the V8, but I tried the V8S, which I think is a really pretty awesome small wheel.
They're very similar.
Yeah, really nice. So what wheels have you owned since then?
Since then, so my first wheel was my 16. Then from there, I got an MSP, and it was a high-speed MSP. Then from my MSP, I went to my RS, and then I ended up having two RSs at one point. Yeah, there's my 16. Baby wheel, let's go. Then went to my MSP. Then after the MSP, there was the RS. From the RS, I went to a T4. And then from a T4, I went to a Master. And then now I have my Extreme and a Master. And
you have a few baby wheels too, right?
I do have a few baby wheels too. I have an A2, and I just recently became the owner of an M10 Mini.
Can never have too many wheels.
Yes and no. If you're not riding them, it's not good to just have batteries sitting around. It's one of those things where I think that it's not the best to just collect them if they're not getting used. If they're not getting used, it's better to put them into the hands of another rider, so somebody else can use it, learn, and we can expand the sports.
What you've done with women in the community, you've gotten other women to join to ride by handing down your own older wheels.
Yeah. My wheels, well, the community that introduced me to EUC was the circus and flow arts community. A lot of the fire spinners were introduced to EUC in the days of the 9-bot, when the 9-bot was released. This guy, Sean, bought a bunch for his employees at one point as a Christmas bonus and was like, yo, this is the thing. He actually raced at Northwest this weekend, and was the second place in men's pro. But that guy got the flow scene into wheels, and then I got exposed through them, and now.
Yeah, and Liv says the only difference in the V8 and V8S is battery size. So thank you for that, Liv, because I didn't know what was the difference between the two. I'm just like, they look the same.
Right.
So yeah, so I heard that you like to name your wheels. How do you pick out the names for them?
There's really no rhyme or reason. It's super random.
Mm-hmm.
Like my 16 is Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
The MSP was Dave. RS1, my high speed was Bill, and my off road one was Brad. And now I have Billy and Martha. There's really no like hyper specific like process I have for naming my wheels. I just kind of go like, here's a name, let's go.
Yeah,
You know, this feels right. Like Martha just like my friend Thomas used to name his wheels name like grandma names or older women names because he's like they have good taxes. He was like they're good at doing their taxes.
Yeah. Kara says she loves your name choices for the wheels.
Yeah. And it's also just so I can like introduce my wheels to people when they're borrowing them. Like, so this is Bill. Here's his specs. Take care. Because when people come to visit, it's nice that I have extra wheels so we can all ride together and stuff.
And have fun. Yeah, I understand that. My Nicola was called William. So my friend Jontel was like, I wish I thought of that. That's such a great name. And it just like was one of those things that just I was like, this looks like a William. That's your name.
Cute. That's super cute.
Yeah. So I know that you have been someone who's been racing for some time now, and I wanted to know, how did you get into racing? Because
oh god, yeah. You can blame Kelly for that one. Peer pressure and Kelly being like, you gotta do it, please, please, please. And I was just like,
yeah, because at the time it was just like Kelly racing, right?
Pretty much. It was like Kelly and a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
Maribel hadn't really like started to show up yet at that point, but it was like just Kelly at Race for the Ranch, and I think it was Seek and Shred.
Yeah.
And eventually I was convinced to race at AVS on my RS.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some other girls there that was fabulous. It was Kelly, Dawn, I think was there, maybe Miles.
Did Speedy Kitty?
Yeah.
Why
can't I remember her name right now? She's from Arcata. Kat.
Yeah.
Kat Isakova. I think Liv participated in this one, and Nadia.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up racing like I was really, really close to Nadia, and that gave me a lot of anxiety because I thought I was going to pedal clip her, and I was like, I don't want to hurt the prodigy.
Yeah.
Everyone will hate me for forever.
Yeah.
But it was really cool though. She's an incredible rider, and it's really awesome to be able to look back on that and see where she is now. Yeah. So I've gotten to race next to her twice now, once at Amped Electric Games and once at AVS, and she is just so insane. It's awesome.
Yeah, Dawn made her race too.
Right. And so that's kind of how it starts. It's like, if you know another girl that you see has insane capabilities, you convince them to go on the track. And if they end up having a good time, then they'll convince somebody else to go on the track. And they'll convince somebody else to go on the track. Like, and then it grows.
Yeah. Yeah. You've even convinced me to do some tracks. And honestly, I probably wouldn't have done them if you wouldn't have guided me down some of those trails, because I'm like, oh, what is this? I don't do dirt. What is this? But, definitely something.
New York, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, like, what do you like about racing? Like, is there anything that, appeals to you?
Oh, Liv just reminded me she wasn't at the Nadia race. She was at the one afterwards.
Yeah.
So I don't think Dawn was there. I think it might have just been
you, Kelly, and Kat.
Yeah, because no, Kelly was first, Miles was second, and Isakova was third that year.
Okay.
Yeah. They were all epic. And then I was behind Kat, and then Nadia was behind me.
Yeah, the ladies that started and paved the way for EEC racing.
That's wild. That's really wild to think about. I haven't thought about that in a minute.
Yeah, that's really cool though. But yeah, like, what do you like about racing?
What do I like about racing? What I like about racing currently is that we're growing this female camaraderie warm and fuzzy little family type vibe. And it's competitive, yes, but it's still like encouraging and uplifting. Like this weekend at Northwest Electric Fest, the course was wonderfully difficult. And it definitely created a lot of personal growth opportunities for all of us together. And we were all at the top and we're all just like, hell yeah, you're doing this. Congrats for making it down the mountain another time. And we were all giving each other tips, talking about like where we had to step off, where we didn't have to step off, where people wrecked, where people didn't wreck. So we can all just have that awareness for our runs together. It's not like anyone's gatekeeping information from each other. We're all in it together. And that's really, really cool to have in a sport, especially a sport that's so small and new.
Yeah. And I really loved that, like at that event, there was 10 of you guys, right, that were racing. And even some women that were not sure about it, you guys were just like, no, I know you can do it. Like you're perfectly capable. So I saw a lot of that this weekend where you guys were just uplifting each other, because it's really nerve-wracking to do something hard like that, and just having all these women that believe in you and are supporting you. And then once you complete the race, you're like, okay, that feels good. That felt good. Yeah, you were right. I could do this. So what is something you don't like about racing?
I would just say I don't like the anxiety that sometimes it can induce, because it is really nerve-wracking. And I think mostly I just don't like being watched while I'm trying something new. That makes me really nervous. Luckily, we have an amazing community and I'm getting way more comfortable, but I still catch myself having these moments where I'm just like,
Yeah.
I was like, don't look at me, I'm trying this crazy thing. But everyone's really kind. We're really lucky to have such a good, supportive, uplifting scene of people.
Yes.
And just, I would say like the unpredictability and like the waiting. I would say being in full gear and waiting.
Oh yeah.
That's like, when I'm geared up and I'm excited, I just want to go. I want to get my runs done. I want to go, and then I want to de-gear, and then I want to watch everybody else.
Yeah.
And like get into like hype mode for everybody.
Yeah.
Waiting around is hard.
So we have a few newcomers in the chat. Eva says love the openness. And we have Brady here. Hey, you guys.
Brady.
Thank you for tuning in. So yeah, which terrain do you prefer to race? Pavement or dirt? Because I know we have two separate.
Right. After racing both the past couple of years, I definitely prefer racing on trails. I think it's less about being who's the most willing to cut out, and it's more just about like technical ability. And it's way more fun, and it feels like you're actually in like a video game.
Yeah.
Like you get to be Crash Bandicoot, Donkey Kong, whatever it was you played as a kid, and you're traveling through the forest. You're actually getting to do that on your wheel. And I know that Liv plays this game, Sons of the Forest, where you actually get to ride around on an S22 type looking thing.
That's hilarious.
It's dope. And I need to play this game. Everyone needs to play this Sons of the Forest game. It should be like required if you ride wheels.
Yeah. Is that like a PC game, or
I think it's on Steam, but yeah, I've only watched people play it, but I want to.
Yeah. And you know, it's funny you say that, because the first Northwest Electric Fest I went to, where it was at that, like, I think it was a ranch or something.
Oh, at Lynx Hollow? Were you at Lynx Hollow?
Yeah. I got to do the trails. I didn't race that year, but I got to do the trails on my T4, and it felt just like that. It felt like a video game, because you went through all different types of terrain, all different types of area. And I was like, this is actually really cool.
Oh, yeah.
What I was doing though, but it was really, really cool. So I understand that. And when we did like Gateway Green, and we went to you took me to Octodeck and Doom Trail, I had a lot of fun. So I definitely understand that. Hey Isaac, thank you for joining. Isaac is here. So like, what challenges have you faced while racing at an event? Like, is there like certain features that you're like, oh my God, like how the heck am I gonna get over this, and how do you overcome that?
So I can think of two really, really ones that I struggled with. Two features that were hard for me. Last year at Northwest, there was a skinny on the bridge. It was a little like a 2x4, and there was a turn within the 2x4, and then you got to go up the hill. I'm just, one, visually, it doesn't look super like, it doesn't give you a lot of confidence when you look at it to do it necessarily, unless you have a ton of experience doing skinnies, or you're just into that. There's a lot of people who love doing those and go them. I respect you a bunch. I'm not one of those people. And I think that in the middle of a race, like, you're trying to go fast and having to like really control, like, be super aware. But really, how I overcame it was just practicing it a bunch. And I fell a bunch. It was just over and over again. I just kept going, and I would turn around, go backwards on the trail, and re-hit it, and re-hit it. And I had a similar experience with this uphill section at Seek and Tread this year. And I was just unable to get to the very top. I kept having to run up. And so I just practiced it a bunch. I was willing to fall, fell a bunch of times. It was fine. This is why we wear gear. And then eventually I was able to finesse it.
Yeah.
In both situations. And it's kind of just like, you just kind of have to get over that little voice in your head that's telling you you can't for whatever reason. We all have our inner dialogue. My inner dialogue isn't always the most kind. So navigating that for me is just to just do it over and over and over again until that, like, that doubt just kind of evaporates, because you fucking did it.
Yeah.
And then there's no excuse. You did it. You're done. Now, if anything else like it comes up, you're able to do it.
Yeah. And that's something I admire about you a lot. And like, you're kind of teaching me to be proactive in those ways, because like when I tried to do the Northwest Electric Fest track the last time, I couldn't even get up that hill. And by the time I got up there, I was like, I'm exhausted. Like, how the heck am I supposed to do this like 2.2 mile track? And I'm already tired. So now you're telling me, yeah, just go back and keep doing it and hitting it until you feel comfortable and confident. So that's really good advice. And I think we have another person in here, my EUC journey. Hello.
Oh, Yoro.
Yoro's here. Thank you for joining in.
Oh, Yoro's on the internet. We love that.
Hi. Love that. All right. So I wanted to ask you, what has been your favorite event and why?
My favorite event, I'm biased because I'm a part of the team for it, but Northwest Electric Fest, hands down, is my favorite event. And I think Northwest Electric Fest really has nailed the art of providing a fun, interactive environment for people who don't want to race, while still providing a very challenging and like inspiring race event where like we all have an epic amount of competition, and they've always made it, regardless of like how many people were there, it felt like a real race experience. And I always loved how they handled the women's divisions.
Yes.
And it's been never really felt like a spectacle. I've never really felt like the women's races at Northwest have been a spectacle, and it's always just been really fulfilling at the end of each event, because there's always something we're overcoming. Like at Lynx Hollow, it was the riverbed, the rocky riverbed. Like the first couple times I went through it, it was weird, and there's a lot of blackberry vines. But after enough of those bigger guys just barreled through it over and over again, the vines got wider and the rocks got chiller, and it was fine. And then it's like the skinny, the uphills, different uphills. And I mean, this year, I think before I was told about this power line uphill, the daisy chain, or the one wheel way to get to the top, I think was much harder than the actual course, which is funny. But so overcoming that is another like element, I guess. Every event you have your thing you overcome, and that's what makes it awesome. And Northwest, I think, is really good at giving you like a good diverse like amount of opportunities to overcome. Well, there's always something that is achievable and accessible, but they're still going to give you a challenge.
Yeah, because so Eva and Isaac say that it's definitely their favorite event as well. And Liv also says Northwest was one of my favorites. Best memory was sitting in the river coloring your hair, Christy. Yes, I loved you putting the rainbow in my hair. It was great. Yeah, I agree, because Northwest Electrofest, there was like watermelon eating contests. There were these like mini carnival games for the kids. There was a pool. There was Grace is definitely a badass, because
thank you. I appreciate you.
Always participating, always uplifting, always pushing people to get out of their comfort zone. So we love that about Grace. Then there's the Drift Sisters ride, right? And like you were helping to host that this year for EUCs, which was great.
Yeah, that was a first for me. I've been on a Drift Sisters ride before. And I love what Jess is doing in regards to teaching other women how to overcome obstacles within racetracks. Like they go and they stop at each little feature and explain how to do it for newer racers who don't know how to do it. But what was great this year and this was a first for Jess and the Drift Sisters thing, was they had me split off with the EUC girls. We all went down the hill at the same time, but the EUC people went first. And because Coffee is definitely a stronger, faster rider than me, I put her in front of us as like inspo. Like, this is what we can grow to achieve to. And then we all followed Coffee down the hill together. And then we had 3 sections. So we stopped at the end of each section and talked about like, was everyone okay? Anyone fall? How we doing? And then we moved on. And because the one wheels have the ability to go more slow, stop and get on easier. I think for us, because our devices are heavier, we need to maintain momentum, and stopping in the same way that they do doesn't work for us. And in the past, it's been harder to convince girls to show up to the Drift Sisters ride because they're like, I don't want to go that slow and I don't want to stop a bunch.
Yeah.
So splitting up, it was beautiful, really fun, good camaraderie. Loved it.
And I think that's
more of that. I want to work with Jess more in regards to getting us out there to the retreats and see what there is for the future, getting more girls to ride, getting more girls inspired to race.
Yeah. And I think that's really cool that you guys do that too, because if I'm not mistaken, that's how you guys got Beverly to race, because when she saw how you guys were able to do the track and overcome certain obstacles, she was like,
okay. She got third, and then Beverly got third in women's amateur. We love Beverly.
Yeah, I think that was
an amazing, inspiring rider from Portland. We love her very much.
Yeah, so good job to you guys for doing that, and I hope to see more of the Drift Sisters coming together. One wheel, EUC, maybe eventually down the line, E-skate.
I think we should be. I already told Jess we need to be roping in E-skate now. There's not like they're women on PEVs. They need to be in.
Yeah.
And they race. They're women on PEVs who race. We should be bringing in E-skate 110%.
And we've seen E-skate do like JC going up the mountain on her E-skate, and
Estelita jumping. Got a speaker. She's sitting on a speaker on an E-skate going up a freaking gravel mountain like it's nothing.
Yeah, and Estelita jumped the airbag with the E-skate, so they're more than capable.
They're very capable. That's a really, really awesome thing I got to witness. Yeah.
Maybe one year Northwest can have like an E-skate track.
If we get enough mountain boards, convincing E-skaters to build a mountain board is a task. But yeah, we'll see how many get inspired to do it.
Yeah, for sure. And what has been your favorite race personally, like that you have participated in? Like, was there a race that you've done that you were like, okay, this was by far like, this is my favorite one?
I think it's Links Hollow.
Links Hollow
Northwest Electric Fest. That was like one of the best races I had, because I was like head to head with Christina Clark and we kept passing each other. And it was the first race I felt like I actually earned my win. And it wasn't just because there was only 3 of us, there was a podium, or like I beat Scotty my first year at Northwest for EUC amateur, but like he had only been riding like a month or 2. So it didn't really feel like a win-win to me. But Clark and I were just like passing each other back and forth. And she's just such an epic rider, and she's used to some crazy terrain that her husband takes her on. So getting to go back and forth with her that year was really, really fun. And using the features to pass each other by like jumping off the drops and things was like, they really killed it with the built features that year. And just that course was stupid fun.
Yeah.
Would love to race at Lynx Hollow again, if it's possible, which who knows, but.
I actually did my first bonk that year. So yeah, you're right. Like it was really cool. It was during the Drift Sisters ride. And I do have photos and videos of you and Christina from that Northwest Electric Fest to now. And I was just telling you and Christina the other day, like how awesome it is to see the evolution of where you guys started to where you guys are now. Cause now you both are in the pro division for, you know, dirt racing.
She's faster than me now. She's like, I'm so proud of her. She's been putting in the work and it shows. She's really, really, really advanced over the past year. She's nuts on street, nuts on dirt. Like, good luck catching her.
It would be cool for you two to like link up and do some trail riding together because
that's how I convinced her to race. I was trail riding with her and her husband in Sonoma on their home trails.
Yeah. And
I was like, if you're just like smashing these like it's nothing, you should be racing. And now we're here.
Yeah, and it's fun because now that I live in Portland, I get to kind of like learn from you, you know, and other dirt riders here because I really have a good time when we do trails together because I feel like you're like, okay, just bend your knees. This is what you're doing. And like, make sure you just like turn your body this way. And that's been really helpful. So I appreciate that as well. How do you get yourself ready to race? Is there some sort of like routine you have?
Well, the past couple of races I've done something a little different, and I appreciated it a bunch because the past two dirt events, the trails have been something to overcome, and there's been a lot of personal growth, and they were hard for me. They were definitely beyond my comfort zone in a couple different ways. But so how I decided to manage that was to not overrun it and to not run it with a bunch of people. Just do a couple solo runs, take notes of the things that were difficult, and then just like relax, save my energy, save my body, save my wheel for when I actually have to run it. And it worked out very well. And then it's less like you don't have the opportunity to be in your head as much because it's like, this is your run. You have to do it. Yeah. You got to commit. You're doing it, and you're doing it now. So you just go. And then a lot of the weird, like, I don't know if I can do this, kind of like because of pressure. It's like self-pressure. But the only person I feel like who I feel comfortable getting pressure from is myself. If somebody else is pressuring me, I'm out. Like I'm like, I can't do that. But if I'm able to encourage myself, be like, you got this, get freaking down this. You do it. You overcome things in a way that you don't think you can, or at least I didn't think I could. And then I did. And now I don't have the excuse in the future or the need to question myself as much.
And that's also really good to know because I feel that way. Like if I have too many people talking to me about things, I get really overwhelmed and very anxious. And then I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not cut out for this. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. So I like that you're saying to just try to run things on your own, you know, go back if you feel like you need to keep practicing on a certain area and just like encourage yourself to do it. So that's really good advice.
Nobody else is going to get you to do it but yourself.
Yeah.
Like you can get all the advice from everyone in the world, but if you don't want to do it and you don't do it on your own terms, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You're going to like be your own worst enemy and dead weight on yourself, which is a thing. But
yeah,
that's just how I've decided to manage it for me. Some people work better in groups. That's just my personal process.
Okay. So try both processes and see what works for you.
Yeah. That's like, it's not just because I like to be alone and kind of like grind it out by myself doesn't mean that it's not okay to surround yourself with friends and motivation and like stronger riders than yourself, because you can take notes from them. Like riding behind Coffee during Drift Sisters was fabulous opportunity for me to take notes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Nadia at Amped Even, that was another really cool opportunity to take some notes.
Kara says, preach. Yeah, preach. What are some of your gear recommendations as a woman? Because I know our gear, we don't really have a lot of options out there. So what do you use personally and recommend?
Personally, my gear situation is I am using a mix of stuff, and I've been trying to be more of like a budget girly because I feel like we go through gear. I bought these EVX long knee things, and the rivets ended up coming off, and gear is expensive overall because we do need to replace it. Right now I'm using I think it's like a brand is called Soyoko, and I'm using these, like, they're actually long elbow guards, but I'm using them on my knees because my legs are smaller. They're actually designed for elbows. And that's a thing that women can do, is you can take men's elbows if you're a smaller woman and use them on your knees. And another thing that I've had to do as a smaller human is go for chest gear. I go into the kids department, the little boys kids department. And because the little girls one will be too tight and it might not navigate your bits well. Not to be weird about it, but yeah, but like with the boys ones, like teenage boys, they're like muscly and stuff, so you get like enough room. It's like a good in-between size for girls. But also we're really lucky to have a primarily female staff at the Vancouver Cycle Gear over the border in Washington. And even though there is tax over there, I will drive out to the Cycle Gear in Vancouver sometimes just so I can get perspective from women riders on what gear they use. Even though they ride motorcycles or they're doing bike related things, they still know what gear feels right on their bodies. And that's always incredibly helpful and super cool.
That is good to have, and it would be really cool to like eventually work with other companies and, you know, creating gear for women that would like.
Bond Riders is doing that. They have their protective jackets for women. They my only complaint about them is I wish their pockets were bigger. I just really wish they had bigger pockets, but they do a pretty good job at being inclusive with the jackets. And their pants are unisex, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because my struggle right now is like I have chest and back protection, but I have no shoulder padding. So if I were to like hit my shoulder, which I've had before, I have, you know, risk of injury there. So yeah, thanks for.
I don't really have a shoulder on my chest gear at the moment either. For that, it's really knowing how to fall and you can wear Kevlar clothing too. That'll help.
Okay.
There's lots of Kevlar clothing in like the fire scene and fire safe clothing, but that in like jean material, like thick jean material as well, if you're concerned about areas that might get damaged that you don't necessarily have padding for. There's also Kelly at one point was taking like the D3 pads from jackets and then sewing them in to other jackets she already owned.
Oh, nice. So that's another option for you ladies.
Like, you can just buy the pads or on Amazon or somewhere, the inserts. You just need the inserts, and then you can sew them or glue them in to any hoodie or jacket you already own.
Okay, that's really good to know that you can do that. So might have to work on a little project myself.
I mean, it's been on the docket for a while. It was a project I noticed Kelly started while she was living with me and before she got into X Games and all that. But that was a brainchild of an idea that has never really been super followed through on. But
yeah, Eva said she's been. Yeah, Eva said she's been tempted to do this with her Smalls hoodie. Do it, Eva, and then
I
let
mean,
us know.
if we had Armored Smalls hoodies, that would be cool.
That would be really cool.
That would be a really good excuse to buy like another 3 smalls. Sport Smalls, he's the best.
Yes. So I love how you advocate for the women who want to race or are currently racing. What's some advice you can offer to women who want to race?
If you're inspired to race, just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't overthink it. Don't let anybody else tell you what you need to do. That's kind of my advice with a lot of things. It's just like, you just try it.
Mm-hmm.
Try it. If you don't like it, you never have to do it again. Just, even if you're like last, or just, my self goals at ERL, because I know I'm way slower on street than everybody who's there. I'm like, just don't get lapped, like just don't get lapped. And
baby goals.
So it's like, you just work your way up as you see fit, and just know that it's okay to not be in first place and to not be on a podium. And those are hard things to achieve. You're not just going to instantly get on a podium.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. Don't feel defeated.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that you're even touching a track is an accomplishment in its own. Most women don't want to touch this with a 10-foot pole. You know how many guys at these events I see with girlfriends, or I call them secret girlfriends, that
Mm-hmm.
could be riding, that they just don't bring out. And they're just like, I don't know. That's not for me. That's his thing. And I'm just like, girl, there's a female community ready to accept you.
Yeah.
Stop leaving your girlfriends at home.
Yeah.
Wives and your daughters, teach them to ride and include them.
Yeah, because you don't have to race, like you said. You can just like participate in like group rides, or you can do girl rides, and it's really fun. Like just bopping on some wheels and grabbing some lunch with your girlfriends, and
totally. And it's like, and you just try it. Like, and if you don't like it, you don't have to ride in a race format. You can just enjoy doing tricks or dancing.
Yeah.
Or like juggling on your wheel, whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
Get it.
It's like she's trying. You're trying to bring your fiance into this. Yes, Eva. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's like that's what's really great about what InMotion is doing at the Electrify Expos this year, with the teaching people how to ride. They've got the E20s, V8s, and this new wheel they've got, which is called a V6. It's got a wider tire, which makes getting on the wheel a little easier. And it's been when really I got to help in Seattle teach some people how to ride, and so many like preteen to teenage girls picked it up.
Yeah.
5 minutes. It was nuts. And I really hope that InMotion continues to host Learn to Ride events outside of the Electrify series, and continues to do that, because it's what they're doing is making it super accessible.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love that.
I appreciate that too, because we went from this era of like all these kids are on the screens playing video games, into the house, watching TV, not wanting to go out. And now you have these companies that are producing these devices that every age can ride on. Like you have 4-year-old, 5-year-olds jumping on electric unicycles. You have girls, boys, women, men. So it's appealing to everybody. And I could see the smiles in the photos and in the videos when you guys are teaching. So that's a great thing.
So it was, the warm, fuzzy feeling was real.
Yeah.
All day. It was, I was in the hot sun, melting,
whatever,
worth it.
This little kid holding your finger the whole time.
Oh yeah, I got a blister from this one kid. I don't know, gripping onto my pinky for dear life. And it was, I swear she might have been like 4 or 5.
Oh,
precious, but just like my pinky was the stability in that moment.
Yeah, he was like, I gotta hold on, I can't fall.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad you got to do that too. That's really great.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things you hope to see at race events in the future that you're not seeing now?
I want to see more team racing, or like where you have to do things as a team, like cooperative racing. I want to see like more, you have to switch devices racing. or
Mhm.
have to be in like say like EUC versus E-skate. I know that a lot of people don't think that that's possible, but I think it would be, because we did it at the Electrify Expo in San Francisco, and it was kind of a one-off. We put every girl on the track at
Yeah.
once, E-skate and EUC, and it was just one of the coolest things I've ever freaking seen. And I would love to do that again. And it would just be really fun.
I actually got to watch that video and it was really epic because you guys were battling it out, and it's like
Maribel and
Christina Clark, right?
no, that I can't remember her name right now. She's a really amazing e-skate rider. She's blonde.
Not Dawn. Oh my god, my brain. I know who exactly you're talking about.
She's fabulous, but her name is escaping me right now. But she's an incredible rider.
I feel dumb because I like literally just interviewed her. Oh my god, why am I blanking?
But
yeah, it was those two, and then like I think Estelita was on an e-skate.
Yep, Estelita was on an e-skate. It was cool.
Yeah, really, really cool. So yeah, that would be really cool to see more of.
Like
versus EC
or creative, like doing races in a different way. I'm really excited for Douglas's event next year at Pat's Acres, because he's gonna have the pros do 12 laps.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit more? You want to talk about the Pat's Acres?
We can talk about Pat's Acres. Woo! Next March 2026, March 28th and 29th, there's going to be a dirt and a street race at the Pat's Acres Racing Complex in Canby, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
More information will be released very, very soon, but save the date. Get ready to travel to Oregon. It's going to be an incredible event. If you want to look at what the track looks like, you can look up Pat's Acres Racing Complex.
And you have some videos of Pat's Acres as well, of you just on the track. And
yeah, I have a couple on my Instagram of the Pat's Acres course, but I haven't recorded any videos of me at the
yeah, it's not that one, Nelson, it's the next one. Yeah, those two on the bottom, the two on the bottom.
Yeah, the next one.
Yeah,
that one. So this is Pat's Acres. This is the go-kart track. The go-karts that they rent out go 50 miles an hour, and this has also been used for drifting for many years. We've actually got to take my car out here. It was a wild experience. But
you guys used it to dry the track.
Yeah, we used it to dry the track, but it's a very well-maintained go-kart track. It's got banks, turns, it goes in, and I just love it. I love this place so much. It's a beautiful location, and I just feel very, very lucky that I've gotten to practice here.
Yeah, and Brady, you said the track looks awesome. You're right, because I also have gotten a chance to ride it, and it is a really nice track. I think you all would appreciate it. And right next to it is a dirt track, so there will be dirt racing. So make sure you have your wheels ready for that as well. So yeah, save the date, March 28th to 29th, 2026, Pat's Acres. Canby. Let's go.
Let's go. No more parking lots.
Yes, no more parking lots. It's time to move on from that.
Why are we paying to go hang out in a parking lot?
Yeah, and I know, Doug, your boyfriend has also said that it's very risky to race in a parking lot because, you know, there's little imperfections and things that you guys have to
not a maintained track, and there's things like paint lines, and it's just, there's just no consistency, and it's it's also just like hot and lame. I don't know. You're just like, you have to bring all this shade and stuff. Like at Pat's, there's some shaded areas, and they have like a little mister area that we can set up a cooling station. And it's a racing complex that's been going on for many years.
And what I like about the dates that you guys chose for your race is March in Oregon is beautiful. Like you guys will not worry about overheating.
It is a little bit of a some people have mentioned that they're like, what about the rain? What about the rain? It's a rain or shine race. Like we're gonna
rain, guys. Get ready.
if it rains, we're gonna race.
Yeah.
And that's just, how we're gonna do it.
Yep. Oh, Primoji says, I want to go. Yes, you should
Please,
definitely
Frank.
go.
Please.
Oh, that's Mike?
No, it's Frank.
Oh,
Prime
Frank.
OG is Frank.
Frank, come.
Canada. We love Frank. Let's go.
Bring the whole Canada crew.
Yeah, we want Canada really, really bad to come.
Isaac said Pat's is OG. Doug's race is going to be amazing.
I'm so excited.
That he's been.
Oh, you did? Yeah, let's go. I saw that. The Tough Atlantic had some rain. I was so jealous. I was so jealous. Like Douglas and I were like, "Fuck, we want to be in the rain."
Hey, Turbo. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey, hope they're having fun out there.
Yeah. Canada is in the house. Yes, bring Shira, bring Kara, bring Karen, all the girls that are in Canada. Just make them go.
Yeah, that'd be great. It'd be really excellent to have the squad there.
Yep. So what are some of the people who support you in the community? Any sponsorships, friends that you surround yourself with?
Oh, wow. Gosh, I'm very, very lucky to have had the support of Liam and the EUC Underground, and be privileged enough to get to race with the Night Riders team for the past year. And then beforehand, I would say like my biggest support and help has been Douglas. I laugh about my wheels are under Marshall care, because he helps me with all of my wheel concerns, and he was sponsored by Rev Rides previously and has had multiple different people help him out. And when I just get his hand-me-downs, and same with Mike and Kelly. They've also been very generous when they get gifted things that don't work out for them. They would share with me. And so I would just get my influencer scraps. And I'm super okay with that. Their generosity and support and kindness as I've grown as a rider has been amazing. And I'm just super grateful for the support I've gotten over the years from them.
Yeah. We also have Zach in the house. Thanks for tuning in, Zach. And if you guys don't know who Douglas Marshall is, you should know by now. He's one of the best EUC racers that we have had in the community, a true gem. Definitely really good at helping you maintain your wheels, repairing your wheels. So if you have any, we also have James Darnell in the house. Hello, you guys. But yeah, I love how Doug has helped you fine tune your wheel and also has started teaching you what to look for with your wheel, correct? Because now you identify issues on your wheel.
Totally.
And you have like your good setup and everything. So that's really cool. And you were also one of the first girls that got sponsored by Night Raiders. So that's really, really cool because
that was
on the team.
I was very shocked when I got the text. I was very surprised. I did not see it coming. I was not expecting it at all.
Yeah. And Lee said that you're one of his best, you're his best dirt rider right now. So yeah.
Or for the women, I guess. I appreciate that compliment. That means a lot. There's always room for growth. I've got plenty of room to grow and improve. And I'm stoked to do it alongside all these other talented women that I get to share the tracks with.
Yeah. We also have Mike. Hey, Mike. Hey, Doug.
Well, hey.
Here. Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in. If you could ride anywhere in the world, where would it be and why? Sky's the limit. Think about anywhere you would want to go.
Anywhere?
Anywhere.
Honestly, I kind of want to go ride dirt trails in Paris with the Eastgate Mountain borders.
Oh.
There's a couple chicks from France who started following me a year ago, and they look like they have some crazy trails, and they take their dirt boards on them.
Oh wow, yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing until. So dirt riding in Paris.
Riding in Paris. Yeah, if we're gonna go into the what ifs, I also heard that there's a race happening in Ireland. That sounds really cool.
Race for the Highlands. I think it's Scotland.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
That
I
sounds really cool.
next year, and
I got a passport, so
you have a
maybe.
passport. Be like, hello. I think Nelson should be in those groups if he can add you. I think it's on Facebook. He could probably add you into there, so you could kind of finagle that and see.
Oh, gee.
Hi.
Woo!
We appreciate you guys because you guys are right now practicing on trails. So we appreciate you guys for jumping in and giving Grace some support here and tuning in.
Yay. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Are there any of, oh, well, you said there's Race for the Highlands you would want to participate. That was my next question.
Mm-hmm.
Overseas you would like to participate in?
That.
Yeah.
For sure. 100%. When I heard about that, I'm like, what? That's crazy. And I don't know a whole lot about it. And I didn't even know that that's what the name of it was. So thank you. I just knew that there was a race in Ireland, and that sounds sick.
Yeah. The only reason I know about it is because I was talking to Zoda about it, and she had went.
She went. Did she race?
She didn't race, but she was just riding out there with them. And I think they do like ride and stuff. And I thought that was really pretty epic because I had no idea that was a thing either.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you to her for letting us know, bringing the info.
Yes. Well, so yeah, what do you think your next wheel would be?
My next wheel?
Yeah.
This has been like, this is a hot topic. And so if anybody wants to chime in and like give me recommendations, let's go. Because right now I'm thinking maybe I might get an X-Way, maybe.
X-Way!
But I don't really feel like I need a new wheel right now because I love my current setup. Like the Master and the Extreme are both fabulous wheels. I've got Vince suspension kits on both of them. Mm-hmm. They both feel good on dirt. My Master is better for street for sure, but I love both of those wheels so much, and I feel completely and totally like satisfied. My needs are met by both those wheels. I just don't know if I need, what is this Sherman Oryx?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, new wheel alert. I don't know what that is, but
if you
I'm open to trying things. My mind's open. I'm down to upgrade as I need to. Mm-hmm. Right now, I don't feel like I need to, but
yeah,
I kind of fell in love with the King Song 16 Pro. My roommate just got one of those. Mm-hmm. I know it's a baby wheel and it's not really an upgrade, but the speaker system on it is bomb. The suspension on it is bomb. And it's just such a fun baby wheel.
Yeah.
I kind of really want one. I want to black one out. It would be because it's very orange, but I want to black it out.
So it's funny because like with the next wheels, right? It's like now they're moving to they've been on 168 volt, but now it's 210 volt, which is going to be like big boy wheels, right? And this speaks to them having to start doing races where we're either in a voltage class or a weight class, because having to constantly have to buy a new wheel, which they're not cheap. Now it's like, oh, if I don't buy a wheel that's 168 volt, will I be able to compete with these girls that are on 168 volt wheels? So race events
on street, no, for me, but I feel like where I'm at right now in regards to dirt, my Extreme is perfectly set up, and I am loving everything I've got going on, especially with my new pads that your husband printed for me. So thank you, Turbo.
Yes. We're grateful for that. And yes, Turbo is now making pads that are custom to the rider. So if you can try his pads out, and if you feel you want something different, he can definitely do that for you. So, but we'll see what happens with the races and if they're going to start doing classes,
Who knows? That's been talked about amongst a lot of different people over the years. It just, we just don't really have the numbers for it.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to, is there's just not enough of us to pull that off. Otherwise we'd be having like really small number races.
Yeah. And also, like, I love that you advocated for this too. We can't just have pro classes at these race events. And that was something that we're heavily advocating for, because you're not going to get new riders to compete, because if
No.
it's just pro and we still have sportsman and amateur classes that everyone seems to be ignoring, like you're not going to get any new writers in, and the sport is not going to grow. It's going to be the same people racing those divisions. So thank you for being a strong advocate for that. So much appreciated.
Anytime. I do my best.
Yeah, because Tough One was able to, when they didn't have enough women to race the pro category because of the advocacy, they opened up a sportsman class, and next thing you know, they had way more people signing up. They had, more people signing up to compete. So very important. Yes, amateur and sportsman, Steve, definitely has to be looked at. And I think at Doug's event, he's going to do that. He's
Yeah,
gonna
it depends on how many people show up,
Mhm.
but there's going to be multiple classes.
Yes, Liv says it.
Yeah, we are going to have multiple classes. I'm very excited to have everybody come out and showcase what's possible at this event.
For real. So while we have Zach on, he wants to know what's your favorite color.
My favorite color is black and neutral earth tones, really dark earth tones.
Yeah.
Say that.
All right.
I mostly wear black though.
Yeah. Isaac said, just spent a weekend with Grace teaching new writers at Electrify. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate you.
So aside from EUC, what are your other hobbies? Because you do a bunch of other things that people don't know about.
Yeah. I have other hobbies. So I paint. I'm a painter. I do a lot of like mixed media collage. That's what this cabinet behind me is, my art supplies. I once upon a time was more focused on music, and I played guitar. But I've also modeled and done creative and art modeling. That's my first published shoot. That was at the Madonna Inn. Yep.
Yeah.
Just lots of artsy stuff. I fire dance, or at least I used to perform fire dancing and hula hoop circus arts things.
And you just sold some art too this past weekend at Justice's.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Northwest had its very first little art gallery, and I brought some of my pieces out, and 2 of them have new homes now, which was really cool. I haven't showcased my work in many years, so it was a really enjoyable experience to get to have some feedback on my work and have it be well received. It was really cool.
That's really cool. And also, like, Kelly has also helped with photography, because I see all these beautiful pictures, and I know you said Kelly used to do some like photo shoots with you too, right?
Yeah, that's a self-portrait or a selfie. But there's some photos in there that Kelly has taken, like the wheel ones Kelly took. All the ones with the wheels Kelly took. There's another guy who I used to work with in LA a bunch, named Raul. He now works for Blackcraft Cult and does photography for them, but a lot of my spookier, more creative photo shoots, that if you dig way deep into my Instagram, there's still a section I leave up of that.
I'm laughing because Liv said,
very cool. And I did a photo shoot on my RS with him. That was really cool, and we need to revisit that at some point.
I'm laughing because Liv is like, Fortnite. Fortnite.
Hey, I mean, we love. Oh yeah, I spend a lot of time playing Fortnite with Liv, and I hang out on her Discord a bunch. There, that is something. Yeah, gaming. I like gaming. My hair was pink once.
Yeah, all the pop.
Hey, look, evidence. My hair has been pink. It's been a lot of colors. I like cats.
Liv was like, I was gonna say, I was surprised to see you in a light sweatshirt.
Oh yeah, I don't know what it is about this particular Northwest sweatshirt, but it was so soft, and
it has the art in the back as well. That Justin.
Yeah, it does. It has Jess's art, which is really so cool.
That's really nice.
Yeah, it's
very much Northwest.
I don't know. I don't know. I just really liked this hoodie. Normally, I would never wear this color, but This particular hoodie, I just liked it a lot.
So Steve also has a question. He said, "What is the next race you're looking forward to?"
So we're maybe gonna try to pull off the Malaysia race, the Bagode Malaysia race. I would like to participate on their dirt track. I don't plan on racing street out there, but I would love to do the dirt course in Malaysia. And if that doesn't happen, then a little birdie has put out into the world that there's potentially a Sonoma Raceway race on their go-kart track. And I'm from Sonoma County, so I would be thrilled to go back home and have a little race there. That'd be amazing.
TEF did announce it, and it's in October 18th, I think, to be exact. So they did announce their Sonoma race, which I thought was going to be in November. So it's kind of cool that it's in October, because if you did want to go to Malaysia, because that's in November, you have the opportunity.
So hey, well, that's fun fact. So that's a strong possibility, even though it is going to be a street race, and that's not my particular favorite flavor, but it's in Sonoma, so let's go.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's where it is enough. I'm like, all right, we'll put the Michelin on my master and we'll do the bit.
There you go. So my closing question for you, and this is the last question I have, what has kept you writing, and what are some tips you can give to motivate new writers?
What's kept me writing is the support from the community and all the other women who have just been really inspiring and motivating, and our little girl chats that we have are really awesome. And support from my boyfriend Douglas, he's amazing. And just the feeling when you overcome something, I think is probably the number one bit. It's an addicting feeling, like when you try something new and you achieve it and you're like, oh shit, I did it, and then you do it over and over again, like the tabletops at Gateway, or the Rose Garden stair set, or something like that. When you achieve something that looks hard, but then you do it.
Yeah.
That particular feeling is my number one source of EUC fuel. That is what keeps me writing, number one.
And this is something I tell a lot of people when I'm doing these interviews. If you're a girl that wants to learn to ride, or just like Hing, contact any of us on Instagram. We have an amazing Telegram women's chat that has been nothing but supportive and uplifting. And we do have East Coast, West Coast meets, and hey, I'm in this town. Does anybody ride here? I would love to learn, or would love to ride with you guys. So feel free to hit us up.
Or if you're in the Pacific Northwest, Friday night ride. We meet at the Esplanade next to OMSI every single Friday at 7:00. We leave at 7:30. Every Friday, you will find us. Please come ride with us.
Yes. Chua Lee says, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. He said, we need more ladies on EUC. I live in Central Cal and have not seen a lady on EUC yet.
You're in Central Cal. Hit up Smalls and go to LA and go to some of the group rides down in La La Land. I know Central Cal, it's a little bit of a drive, but it'll be worth it.
Yes, I've gotten to do their LA Intro to Speed, and it's really fun. All levels, the best people to give you the advice that you need. And Liv also says, yes, we will find you writing friends. That is very true. We will find you someone that we know that you
There's
can.
Also Tales Up Thursday in Long Beach. That ride is amazing. It is super chill, mixed PEV ride. That's fun, and there's some fun features they stop at to play around on.
Yeah.
I think Hope is hosting that one with Smalls at this point.
Yeah. Steve says, my wife is on an E20 for now. Baby steps. Good job.
Let's go. Let's go, Steve.
Yeah, love it. If she wants to join our Telegram chat, let me know and I'll send you the link so that she can ask questions, tips. The girls
That's the way.
That's
the way.
Get her to.
Your wife is the way.
Yes.
Teaching your girlfriend is the way.
Yes. So thank you so much, Grace, for being here, and for everybody who tuned in to participate in this interview. We're happy to have you all here. And until the next time.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. And thanks for everyone who came and hung out.
Yeah.
Woo! I did the bit. We got